The new success recipe for vibe coded companies is a very, very simple formula. Before we dive into that, my name is Jarrett and I am building Chump. Chump is a financial companion that I hope to launch in the next 7 to 10 days, so stay tuned. If you want to learn more about that, go check out hichump.com. Now, to best describe what this formula is, what this new success recipe is for vibe coded companies, let's check out this tweet. Okay, so the tweet is super simple. It says, whether a company succeeds today or not really comes down to these two things. And it comes down to C, as you can see, the creations, which are really the products or the services, right? Whether you put out a good product. If the product isn't good, chances are it may not do well. And then the distribution, which is D, right? And that basically is your social reach, your social networks. Whether you talk about something on the internet and it's free and you're putting it out to your social networks, or you're actually really good at paid marketing. So whether it's paid or not paid, organic or inorganic, when you put that out to the internet, what is that reach? And then you can see the equation below, which is C to the D equals V, or value, right? So C to the D power equals V. And I think that this is very, very, very important. And you'll see below the sentence that I think really kind of ties it all together. It says, value is as exponential as the creations company's distribution. That may not make sense now, but hopefully it will. To try to explain this further, I've created two images. So let's look at this first image. This first image is going to be a chart that really breaks down this idea of good distribution and good product or good creation or good service, and then bad creation and then bad distribution. So if we look at this and we look at the middle cell, this would be where good distribution is happening, and it's a good creation, so it's a good product or a good service. This would be where people know about it, right, from the distribution, and people want it because it's good, okay? Then let's go to the right of that one, where it's bad distribution but a good product. So imagine an iPhone, but no one knows about it. So no one knows about it, but people want it. And if we go down to the other purple cell, this will be with good distribution. So now people know about it, but it's a bad creation. It's not an iPhone. It's not something cool. It's not a product that people want. Therefore, no one wants it. And then finally, you have the end all be all of like bad outcomes, which would be bad distribution and a bad creation, which is no one knows that it even exists, and no one wants it even if it did. So what does all this mean? If we think about the equation that we started to use, which is C, or the creation to the power of the distribution, equals the value, C to the D equals the value, this is what that means. Let's look at this next chart. Okay, so on this chart, what we're gonna do is we are gonna break down mathematically what the previous chart talked about. And to do that, let's start in the gray box in the bottom right-hand corner, which is the 1 to the first power. And this is where you have bad creation and you have bad distribution. So 1 to the first power is just gonna give you 1. Now, if we go up above that, where we have bad distribution but good creation, this is where you have 9 to the first power, which is just gonna give you 9. So right now, the value in the gray box is 1. The value in the purple box above that is 9. Let's look at the other purple box, which is a bad creation. Bad creation, but good distribution. This is why you give it a 1, but the distribution is really great. So this is 1 to the 9th power, which still gives you 1, because it doesn't matter if you have really good distribution if it's a bad creation. And then finally, the 9 to the 9th power. This is where you have really good distribution and you have a really good creation. And 9 to the 9th, I had to look this up, it's like 380 million. Because if you remember, if we go back to the tweet, that word that is, or the word that is most important is exponential. The value, or V, is as exponential as the creations company's distribution, or as the creations distribution, as the amount of people that can hear about it. If no one knows that you've created the iPhone, it doesn't matter. That's kind of what we're trying to get to here. So this is something that I think about a lot, and this equation is something I'm absolutely going to use as I launch Chump and as I launch other projects in the future that I'm working on in vibe coding currently. So if you're vibe coding, or you're building a company, or you're part of a company, or you're running marketing, or whatever you're doing, how does this equation sit with you? Does this make sense? The creation to the distribution power equals the value. How is that playing a role for you? For me, I know with Chump, when I launch, I'm going to be doing Pareto principle of about 80% time in marketing, both organic and inorganic, and about 20% I'll be doing building, I'll be doing feedback, I'll be doing add-ons, making sure that the processes are working. This week I actually built a dashboard. I guess I could have talked more about that, but built a dashboard to be able to see as users come in, how much usage they're using, what revenue looks like for each user, what the profit margin looks like for each user, most importantly, maybe what the cost looks like for each user, because that will fluctuate with Chump. All this to say, how does this equation work for you? Are you vibe coding? Does this make sense? Is this something that's going to bring you value? Does this also change to how you feel about distribution. Because for me, it's a super simple formula. And this is really the recipe for success for anyone vibe coding today. If you enjoyed this, please go ahead and subscribe. I do a weekly video every week to talk about me building solo with AI. Right now, I am building Chump, which will launch soon. To go check that out, check out hichump.com, and I'm going to leave a bunch of links below if you want to get in touch with me and check out what I'm doing. I hope everyone is well and have a great rest of your Sunday, and I hope you have a good week.